Okay, now this is an example of what some of you are doing in your 4x4s, and you're showing it to me, and I'm having to fix the same things over and over again. So I want to point out some things that you need to be doing to make your drawing go to the next level. Now this is a pretty good drawing, but it's real sketchy. There's some spots where the color doesn't go all the way up to the end of the area, where some of the color is missing. It needs to be cleaned up with the eraser. We shouldn't be relying on lines. This line that you see here, this dark color, that is that line, should be this color that's there. And this color and this color touch one another. It'll create the illusion of this line. You don't need this line. Just like this color touching this color creates the illusion of the line. So simple little things that you can get rid of. Still a little bit of a stripe here. So what I need to do is I need to work in this area, blending in this area until I can get rid of that stripe. I might even come over here and really put a dark edge on that. All of this is trying to build up contrast, because contrast is what's going to make your drawing go to the next level. We're trying to get rid of this idea that we have to have lines. We don't have to have lines. We need to have one color blending into another color. Here's an area where I didn't finish taking the color all the way down to the line. And to come in here, you can see by doing this color on the cylinder, that line has kind of disappeared. It's become the color of the color that is next to it, and it's created the illusion of line, just like by erasing that line right there with the other end of the pencil has created the illusion that that line is gone and it's not there anymore. So this is all about gradually changing things to make them look and appear more like we see things out in nature. So we want to get rid of those lines, and we want to bring our color out to meet that edge of the paper, or that color of the paper at the edge of this item, or shape of this item. And again, I'm moving the pencil back and forth across the paper, but until I press down with some pressure on the pencil, nothing really changes. It almost just kind of is filling in the holes, but until I actually press down, there's not really a color change. You know, I'm pressing down a little bit to get this color here to blend into this color here. Alright, so now it looks like these things, these areas right here, fade into one another. And I still have a little bit of a line right there, and I need to get rid of those lines. So I can get in here with the eraser, I can erase that line, get back here on the back side or the top side of that cylinder and erase some of those lines. And let's see, we've got one little more line right there. We're going to lighten that up. So it's really, the line needs to become this color of this value. This color of this value should be the color of that line. You shouldn't have another color. Alright, so now we want to make this pop out. We want to make the cone pop out from here. So we're going to work on its darkest color that's on the edge of the cone. And by putting that dark color in for the edge of the cone, it's going to separate it from the colors that are over here. But that color also has to be blended in to the rest of the area. And a lot of the problem that some of you are still having is that you are making this a stripe that's more of a parallel stripe instead of a stripe that ends in a point. And all of these colors that are on the cone get squished up to a point. Same as if you took the cylinder and squished it up, it'd be the same colors. They would just be smaller at the top and larger at the bottom. Just like a piece of pizza or a slice of pie is wedge shaped, we need to have those areas wedge shaped. Alright, so now that line has disappeared. We've gotten rid of those lines over there. We've gotten rid of this one up here. We're going to put a little more eraser on the top there, getting rid of those lines. Now I think we're at the point where this shadow is not really as dark as it could be, and some of you guys are not really pressing down hard. It may be because you have You thought this was a dark shadow, but look how much darker it is once I'm pressing down. And this, with the white paper and the black of the pencil, builds contrast. And that gradual change from light to dark and putting it in the way that we would normally see them creates the illusion that these are round items on a flat surface. Get this one right here. And this dark shadow here is going to blend into that cone just a little tiny bit. So that means we might need to get in there on that cone side and erase that and lighten that side of the cone up a little bit. Because there's got to be, you don't want an area where it looks like it gets lost. It looks like it gets lost in there, and now with the glare, it looks like I still have a little bit more blending of that dark color into my cone. We don't want a stripe. We don't want any stripes. Alright, so that's where you need to kick up your drawing, take it up a notch, and bring it up to this level. We're going to get rid of this line here with the eraser. Very close, 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 close. We want to get that line erased without taking away the color that we have for our project. One of the other things that you can do is you can use a cover sheet. When you're working on your drawing, have your hand on this piece of paper while you're working on your drawing. That way you're not making smudges all over the paper. Get to work.